everybody. Welcome to another Open Mic podcast. I am so excited. This is our part 2 of the one and only Taylor Swift, and now we can say the one and only Travis Kelce, and how their relationship is going. Now, I always say this in the beginning, in case this is the first time you've ever seen us. Open mic means absolutely nothing is off the table. We just say whatever we want, and we just see where we land. So, welcome back, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
We don't have our other Blondashian, Kristen Nemeth, tonight, which is unfortunate. She knows that she's keeping up.
Yep.
She's a pop culture queen.
And she's also given us some info, right?
That's
today?
exactly
Okay.
it. She went ahead and asked me specifically, no offense.
No, please.
If I had a barometer of like 1 to 10 on how Travis is doing with his douchebaggery,
Yeah.
what would I give him for a score?
Oof, great question.
It is a good question, because I think he's doing a lot of good things, like cute things,
Yeah.
like setting up dinners and being like the man and opening the car door.
Serenading her at the bar after the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Which I think minimizes the douchebaggery, right?
Well, so I'm thinking like, it can't just disappear overnight, right?
Of course.
He's working at it.
Right.
So where I'm gonna give him a 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
because I think he's working at it, but his behavior at the parade,
Not great.
it's not great.
Yeah.
It's not a great look.
I didn't like when he yelled at Andy Reid or got in his face, aggressive. Like, I use that as an example with my 12-year-old son. I was like,
And that's the thing. When we did our first podcast,
Yeah.
it was January 10th, so we hadn't done the Super Bowl yet.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of ground that has taken place.
There's a lot.
Right? So, yes, he yelled at the coach, and that was...
I mean, aggressive, physical, yelled at the coach.
Yes.
And people either went one or two ways, I felt like. It was either like, oh, he's just intense, and he was in the moment, or they're like, unacceptable. Like, absolutely not.
Even his own brother
Right.
said that was crossing
Right.
the line.
That's another thing we have to cover. His retirement speech, Waterworks.
Waterworks.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, if Travis's brother is so awesome, Travis has got to have a little awesomeness
It's
in
in
him,
there.
right?
I
It's
know.
in there. We
It's
just
in
got to
there.
pull it out.
Yep. I
So
agree.
yes, that was crossing the line. Then singing "Viva Las Vegas," I
Oh,
could have
God.
done without.
Oh.
I could have done without, because someone joked about the fact that she kind of got an ick look.
Oh my gosh.
Like-
well, there's a million cameras on her at any point, and he's like, "Bruh, bruh," like, and she was just like, oh, second guessing these decisions.
Okay, so, which brings us to our next question. Although, did you want to give a number on your?
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd go that high. I've
Okay.
So I will tell you, when
this is a
douchebaggery came up, I was like, oh, I saw that little snippet of the golf outing where he had hit the ball. He had, driven the ball and then did a little obnoxious dance. And I was like, I think Julie's dead on that one. But he's been doing so many things, and I listen to the podcast, and he says so many sweet things that I don't know. I'd go 5.
Okay.
I'd go 5.
So okay. I see what
Yep.
you're doing.
But I'm also totally invested now. You've got me like consumed. And I don't know if that's something like
This
that I
is
should
what I
be
do
proud
to
of or
people.
not.
This
I know.
is what I do to people.
Like, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I need to.
Oh, yeah.
Travis is
That's
my wallpaper.
It's her wallpaper on the phone. That's
Because I was at Rotary talking to
Oh.
the branch manager from Eastern Bank, who we both love, fellow Rotarian, and she's from Brazil, and she's always spectacularly dressed. And she said, I don't see it, Steph. I don't see it. He's not handsome. And we just went off on this thing. I was like,
we were like,
what?
He's 6'5".
He's 6'5". He's got a fabulous body. He's got a fabulous smile. He's super successful. He checks all these boxes. And she was like, So I made it my wallpaper, and now I kept it. And now when people see it, they're like, oh, big Travis fan.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Okay, so it brings me to my next. So people really loved our podcast. People were like really invested. It's working. Like I'm like a fungus. I'm just getting everybody into this with me.
I love it.
Because I can't talk about it at home, or very minimally. You know.
right.
Yeah. Men. I'm living
Have
with men.
we admitted that you're no longer just Swift curious?
I am a Swiftie.
Okay. All right,
It's
good.
there.
Is
It's out.
it freeing, you know, to get there and be
Well,
open?
when I follow like her flight plan, I think you've moved into a higher level. I'm like a platinum member, or they're looking at me.
Right, I said the deep dive in our last podcast, I was like, you might be flagged on a lot of things here. And you were like, oh, I'm Swift curious. I was like, no, you are full on
Yeah,
Swift.
you're like right over
Yeah.
there. Okay, so Paul from Danvers asked us, what do you think are currently the red flags for their relationship?
Ooh.
I don't know if you heard this, but they're-
Meanwhile, thanks, Paul from Danvers. Love
Yeah,
the fact
I
that
know.
we're getting
Right?
reach outside of Melrose.
It's outside of Melrose. Yeah, we get somebody from Malden coming up
Love
after that. So anyway, okay, as far as red flags are concerned, and I don't know if you saw this or read this, but apparently, and I hope it's wrong, but apparently Taylor Swift has some rules.
Oh, no strip clubs?
No strip clubs.
Uh-huh.
No pictures with other women. Now that's ridiculous.
That one's aggressive. The no strip clubs, I don't know. That's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one. Here's my feeling. I'm just going to say men, most men have been to a strip club by
Right.
the age of 34.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
Lots of times it's just stupid. It's a bachelor party. It's
Right.
dumb.
It's somebody's
Most people don't even want
birthday.
to go.
Right.
It's just kind of a
They
thing.
get there and they're like
Yeah.
uncomfortable. They don't
Exactly.
even know what to do. Yeah.
Now there's a whole different strain
Mm-hmm.
of men who like to go and even go by themselves.
Correct.
So
Which
I'm not sure.
could be a whole nother podcast. 'Cause, you know, they call the front row perv row.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
Those
well,
are the
yeah.
singletons.
There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah.
Yeah, and there is a story of Travis as a young boy taking his brother's car up to Vancouver or something.
Okay.
And like left the car and was at a strip club and blah blah blah. Okay, again, he's in his 20s.
Right.
I'm gonna forgive him.
Yep.
Okay, so the other rule is the no girl, which I think is just dumb,
There's no way.
especially where
People
he's
are going to
become
take a
star.
picture with him because they're
Of her.
Swifties and they want. Yeah, I know. I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah. So and the last one was if she's going to talk to him, it's got to be like FaceTime, and I don't know if that is like, who's behind you? Like, are you? Yeah.
See, I thought we were talking about red flags for her with the aggressive behavior with Andy Reid. You mean red flags for him with her laying down the law?
I think Paul from Danvers is wondering on each side.
Okay.
So,
all right.
so that to
The
me,
FaceTime thing's a real thing?
I get.
Oh.
Well, what's funny is I mentioned it to my sister Sheila. Now she lives way up in Maine, and we went out. She was down here in Melrose, and I said something about these rules, and I hope it's not true because it makes her sound so, like, insecure and you know. And she goes, "Yeah, I heard that too." And I'm thinking, how could she have heard?
How
that?
did you hear that?
Yeah, in the middle of
Up
nowhere,
there.
up there.
I don't know. That one's weird to me. I personally, and maybe it's just because I'm turning 50 and like FaceTime to me is terrible. If my kids call and FaceTime, I'm always like, oh. And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
the
You know,
angle is never
the
good.
angle's good. You're supposed to hold it somewhere.
I know. And
you're-
then you have an arm ache.
Yeah.
Because you're like, can we
right?
wrap this
and
up?
I'm like, can we go old school and just chit chat?
Just
Like,
chit chat
what?
on.
I don't think I'd like that.
On your life, no. So I just that disappointed me. Again, I don't know if it's true, but it's like I want to believe all the goodness in her.
I know.
And this is not an easy thing for them to navigate.
I know.
It's not.
And I heard, I don't know if it was in one of their podcasts, the brothers, but he said something pretty authentic, like just that they both are in line with their love of family, their love of friends, and they have some real like grounding things that connect them,
Yes.
which I was like, okay, real, I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because two famous people, I mean, they're at they were in Australia at the zoo, and there were helicopters flying over the zoo. Like they don't ever get time.
I know. And the thing is, out of all the people she's dated, I think he's the strongest.
Yes.
He can handle it.
I think so,
He's-
too.
He's a tough. He's
Right,
tough.
right. If we go back through all the, they're all like, They were in her shadow. I think he's like, let's go.
He has been quoted as saying he doesn't like to be called Taylor Swift's boyfriend. He would prefer life partner. Now, okay, thank you.
Jules. Write that down because I need to look that up because that's bizarro.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Isn't that like, aren't they 34?
Okay,
That's something like you say when you're, no, I don't know. I don't like it.
Here's the thing. If they're going to get engaged, which I've heard too, just do it.
Right.
Or don't say anything and let us be surprised. They don't realize we need this.
Right.
Like in the world.
But didn't you call it in podcast version 1 or whatever? You were like, oh no, it's a December engagement around her birthday, something like that, didn't you? Or was that the wedding?
No. I said they would get married in December 2024. Because
by the way, if that happens,
right?
This is all new to me, and I'm just happy to be along for the ride. But if that happens, I'm telling you.
Yeah. A lot of thinking going on. A lot of thinking.
Yeah. I know. All right, more questions.
Yes. Now, let me just think about what
hydration,
we didn't cover.
Important.
Okay,
we covered Super Bowl. We covered. Oh, how about he does the Super Bowl and can't go to the Golden Globes.
Yep.
Because he was getting ready for the big game.
Yeah.
Then will she make it? She makes it. Comes
Yes.
back from Singapore, right? You had the flights tracked, which is totally normal and not a red flag at all. But she makes it back. She's there. She's on the field. Now, he immediately follows, right? And doesn't he go to Australia right after? And, I mean, it does seem real.
Okay. Here's the part that I'm happy about, because where I'm a new Swiftie, and I haven't.
So proud of you. Great job.
Thank
that
you.
really flowed naturally.
I'm not as familiar with her music, What I worried about was, see, if you go to a football game, it's different every time.
Yeah.
So even though she's like going to her 8th, whatever, Kansas game, it's a different team and it's a different outcome
Different
and all
crowd,
that.
different everything.
Now, I know she shakes up her concerts, but I'm thinking, oh my God, 3.5 hours? Like, I'm showing my age now. 3.5 hours, like 1 or 2, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. So the fact that he goes.
And he's there. And he's bringing friends.
He's bringing friends. He's got the bracelets.
I know.
So.
And when they show the shots when he's with the dad, and they both love, I think it's in Karma. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. And then goes bananas as if he didn't know it was going to happen. I don't know.
I know. And that's the thing. Like, I do think that, what's Matt's question?
Matt from Malden.
Matt from Malden.
This feels like.
Well, first of all, he said, I loved the podcast. I'm just as obsessed with the two as you guys are.
Like your level or my level?
I would say your level.
Okay.
But he's hoping they go the whole way.
Aww.
Yeah, so it wasn't really
We
a
agree,
question.
Matt.
It was just a statement.
We agree,
Thank you, Matt.
We don't have to worry about Matt's cookies and Matt's searches.
I don't
we
think so.
That's okay.
I think we're good.
Good.
But there was something else I wanted to bring up about this whole scenario. So the traveling, so they're right now, they're believed to be in the Bahamas.
Oh.
For like
I'm trying to decide if this makes you nervous or not. Do you notify TMZ? Does that how it goes?
It's getting there.
Okay.
They're like, have you found anything? Because we're trying to find. So I think someone said that what would be really helpful for a fairly new relationship is a car ride. Like, you learn a lot about each other in a car ride.
Road trip.
Like a road trip. Like a.
Oh.
Isn't that?
I love that.
Yeah. It was a podcast. It was Heather.
James Corden.
Heather McDonald. Do you know her? She's a comedian. She had one of her regular. She has like a whole bunch of comedians. She just rotates, and I can't remember his name.
That's a really good idea. I love that.
Because I feel like everybody's rushing them.
Yep.
I feel like it has tentacles of something real, but she's on a plane, he's on a plane.
Yeah. And then anytime they're in any kind of a setting, there's so many eyes and cameras and everything. If they were in a car, one-on-one,
Yeah.
who drives?
I think you got to split it.
Really?
I think you got to split it.
I feel like he'd be the gentleman and be like, Tay,
Tay.
you got the map. And by Matt, old school Matt, but,
Yeah,
and he drives.
Well, yeah, because I think he loves that role.
Yes.
And I think he does very well with it.
Right.
He's the bodyguard, he's the,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Even though Rosalind doesn't think so. I mean, what, 6'5"?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think he just this needs to bake.
Right.
Is what's happening. And so this is a good time for both of them, well, until May 9th. Then
They're
she's
in the
back on
Bahamas,
tour.
and then May 9th.
The May 9th,
And
she's-
where is she going?
God.
Oh, don't act like you don't know.
No, I really
You
can't
have
think of
like
it.
the schedule on your fridge. Like, come on.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Okay, all right.
It's far away though. I mean, it's another.
But isn't he basically off?
Yeah.
So he's probably just going to piggyback, like you said, 3.5 hours. He knows,
He knows the deal.
right?
I don't know when they get called back. They must get called back in the summer,
I
right?
think they do. Yeah, they go back for camp, but I
Here's
don't
the
know,
things that I
interesting.
think about that I just think, again, crazy brain. Why? Well, again, maybe I'm showing my age, but if I were them,
Mm-hmm.
I would just enjoy that house in Missouri. It's got a pool. it's got like a putting green. It's got a bar.
This is Trav's house?
This is Trav's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's
Did they spend a lot of time there?
not enough, in my opinion.
Where is Kristen? Because Kristen and I would absolutely be like, at what point should we be concerned about our friend Julie?
I think it's
You're like, why aren't they just at the house in Missouri?
yeah.
And if you even spit out the name of the street, I would no, please don't, please don't. If you know it, don't.
I know it's a gated community.
Oh,
I know
God.
that.
Did Fran watch the first podcast?
No.
Okay, I would encourage you to discourage him from watching this one.
I'm pretty sure if you didn't watch the first one, this
He's-
follow-up.
okay, this follow-up, yeah. Okay, it's not gonna be on his
cuckoo-ness
radar.
Is,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not.
all right.
So yeah, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where do we stand on his clothing? Right? And I know that sounds so superficial,
Double
but
thumbs down.
do you remember when we were growing up, Chess King? Yes. Right?
Yes.
Don't you think he is just a walking billboard
He's
for
Mr. Chess King.
Chess King?
100%.
And
Matchy match.
and she is always like so stylish and not trying too hard.
Right.
And then he's got like these color block things, and I don't know.
I don't know either. And this is the other thing. I mean,
Can she help him?
well, I mean, she's an industry, right? I mean, she's got what, hundreds and hundreds of people. You know that there's got to be some people going in her ear, saying, if this is your choice, that's fine. But we're gonna have to.
Right.
We're gonna. He's not gonna go to strip
One
clubs.
of the concerts in Australia, I think he had blue and teal
I know the outfit.
matching shirt,
Yes.
shorts, and I was
Yes.
like,
Kind
If
of looked
I'm-
like an octopus.
Yeah.
It looked like a green octopus on a teal.
right.
Like Garanimals.
Yeah.
Matchy match.
Like almost like lost a bet. Somebody dared him, like, wear this, like, and I thought to myself, imagine you're out there singing and you're like, yeah, that's my man.
That's my
And
man.
the octopus,
In the
little granimals.
yeah, in the
So,
matchy
I don't know.
jumpy jump.
The clothes thing is
But you know what it is too? It's his attitude with it.
yeah.
Like, again, the word douchebaggery comes to mind because it's like I mean, look at the brother. I mean, he is so awesome,
Oh.
right? And he doesn't care about fashion. I think it's fine that Travis likes fashion. He's a tall
100%,
guy.
yep.
He's got so many companies that are like sending him stuff so they'll
Yes.
wear it. But he doesn't. He's not like having fun with it. I feel like he's serious about it. Like,
Yeah.
look at me in my Dolce & Gabbana, da 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 da. And it's like that is not manly.
Yeah. Going into the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes is in a gorgeous, classy suit, tie, and Travis has on like something Cher would wear. It was like a black sequin jacket, pants, and you're like,
100%.
"Hey,
And they were
what are
like
you
pal-
doing?"
they were like
Yeah.
palazzo.
Yeah, like MC Hammer pants or something like, like I'm just like, what are we doing?
And it's kind of like, how is that going to work? You've got, she's a fashionista, and as you said, top of the line.
Gorge, like gorgeous
She
taste.
she knows how, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to dress herself. I think she may be able to.
Yeah, influence that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, Paul from Danvers, like when it comes to clothing, we're going
Deep
10.
into the red flags.
We're going
Yeah,
10
yeah,
douchebaggery.
yeah.
'Cause that's just like, I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't like when someone's
Over the
like
top.
yeah, like there doesn't seem to be enough humbleness in him.
I agree.
And I think, people that say, "Oh, well, he was so intense." It's like, yeah, take a look at that intensity because that's his beloved coach.
Right.
And you may be the
Right.
beloved wife.
And I wanted him to come out after and be like, I went too far. I got caught up. Like, I wanted him to acknowledge it because how many millions and millions of people are watching that? And how many, you just worry. Like, you don't want a child to think that's okay.
Exactly.
That's not okay.
And you just brought me to the point that I've been trying to remember that I wanted to talk about. When he was at the parade, okay, he really overserved himself. So these are some big not loving it,
Right.
okay? Again, you've got kids looking up to him.
Totally.
And here's my feeling. You're a 34-year-old man, okay? If you're 24, 20, you're a kid,
Yes.
pass,
Right.
big old pass. Nobody cares. Everybody gets it. But at that stage in your life, and then the singing, and I can't imagine that
And
Taylor
at this
was like,
new,
"That's my man."
Right, at this new platform, right? So you're like,
Exactly.
you have to make some adjustments now because you are in the public eye and
Right.
all eyes are on you.
Right. So I just that was disappointing. And the other thing is, it's like, they can't take things back, right?
Right.
It's
No
stuck out
do-over,
there.
yep.
But to your point, you could have a funny like Fallon night or a Jimmy Kimmel where he
Yeah.
comes on and he goes, "Well, I acted like an idiot.
Yeah.
God, Taylor didn't talk to me for 2 hours."
Oh,
Like,
that'd be so smart.
Right? It
So
would just
smart.
be such a
and they
good-
could show it and they could mean
he'd
it
be
and
like,
stuff.
"Oh,
and
I
he'd
know,
be
and I
like,
really-
oh,
and-
this is when I screamed in his face. Not a good look.
yeah,
you know?
or like even when he's singing, you go, "God, it sounded so much better in my head."
Right.
That,
Like maybe I didn't have to do the Viva Las Vegas thing. Like own it. Make yourself
yes.
come across like genuine.
Exactly. Have some fun with it.
Right.
But then again, sometimes she's not always having fun. Sometimes
I know.
she gets a little serious.
I know. But I can't even imagine what life must be like,
I mean, my anxiety couldn't handle it.
Yeah, she's in the bar after they win the Super Bowl and there's a million cameras. How do you even let
Yeah.
your guard down and
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
I mean, somebody grabs a bad picture of me and you, we're like, and what is it? It's shown in Melrose, But this is like,
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you must just be always, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the right word is.
I think it's a very interesting thing that they both sort of were trained the same way in the
Right.
sense that he was a great football player, she was a great artist, and then so I think they both have a little arrested development.
Yeah.
Because what do? They look at their calendar and they go, "Oh," he says, "Oh, I get on a bus, and then I go to this
Right,
hotel,
robotic,
and then
right?
I play
Yep.
football, and then I got to go to the stadium."
Yep.
So that's why I think they need that.
The road trip.
The road trip.
They totally
They
do.
need the
They
road
need
trip.
to get in. They can do a little James Corden, like singing
Yep.
and
Yep.
like tinted windows. Nobody knows.
Nobody
just go.
knows, just
Get
go.
to know each other.
Exactly. Go from Missouri to LA or something.
Oh God, Missouri, the gated community that you know. Oh, God. We need to talk really quick about
Yes.
the Jason Kelsey retirement.
Oh,
because
yes.
this cracked me up when he said, "I remember the night I met my wife. She walked through the door of the bar. Her face is, etched
in
in
my
my
brain.
retina."
Oh, yeah, my retina.
And she the next day was like, "Yeah, so let's talk real about this. He was blackout drunk, passed out on the bar."
Yeah.
Like she's like, that was nice for the retirement
Yeah,
speech,
yeah.
but I just think, did
She's
they not seem
fantastic.
right?
Yeah, because she's like, "Yeah, we met on Tinder. And then he was out drinking with his buddies all day.
Yeah.
And then said, meet me at this bar.
Yeah.
And so by the time she got to the bar, 45 minutes in,
Yeah.
he's out,
Wasted.
gone.
Wasted. But his version is, hearts in
I
his
know, I
eyes.
know, I
Like,
know.
I just thought that was
Did
hysterical.
you see her do the Irish step
Oh
dancing?
my God, yes. Love.
Now, if they can rub off a little bit on,
Right? Yes, real.
they're real, they've got 3 children, he's in it to win it.
Yep.
He's a no-nonsense guy.
Love it.
And I think that, and I thought that when I watched Catching Kelsey. I said, the one redeeming quality of this 6 hours I'll never get back.
I didn't think you'd actually say that out loud again.
I know, but it was the brotherly thing. It was
Yeah.
the Jason.
Oh, they've got something
right
special.
there, right there, like trying to help him. Like, well, she seems
Yeah.
nice and blah blah.
Or when he took his shirt off and he jumped out into the stands at that one game, but then picked up a little girl so
I
she
know,
could see Taylor.
I know.
You're like,
I know.
oh, I love him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. I mean, this story just keeps going on and on.
There could be a version 3,
there could
version
be.
4. I
There
mean,
could be.
well, we have until May 9th or 7th or
We
whatever.
have till yes.
Let's see, right? They're in the Bahamas. Of course, you know, as soon as this wraps, I'm going to be searching. Like, how does Julie know this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. And if he's planning these cute things, I love it. Just, Travis, if you find yourself watching this,
Yes.
what
No,
Stephanie,
please go.
what fellow Blondashian and myself are recommending is a road trip. Just the two of you in some sort of tinted car, nobody
Yep.
will know.
Less Chess King.
Less Chess King, more emulating the relationship of your brother Jason and Kylie.
Yep.
And I think we've
Yep.
done it. I
You're
think
doing
we've wrapped it
great
up.
with your douchebaggery going down.
Yeah, it's coming down.
We're proud of
It
you.
was definitely there.
Proud of you.
But you had some moments. You
Yep.
had some shaky moments. But,
Yep.
you know, we're going to let it go.
Right.
But, you know.
There's goodness in there. We know
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We
But
know
you're
it.
34. So if you're going to overserve, do it in, like, Pat Mahomes' basement.
Yeah.
You know.
Or when Taylor's driving on the road trip.
Or in their house in Missouri.
Gated community.
Gated
Yeah.
community.
You
I
kill me.
I want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
on.
much
We
for
always
inviting
have
me back.
so much fun. It's
It's a
such a
blast.
great topic. It brings up so many layers.
And there's so much.
There's so much.
We didn't even, there's so much.
There's so much. So thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.